students with the presentation of English poems from book of 9th class. This is Muhammad Ibrahim Khokar. This time presenting before you a poem Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening. This beautiful poem, Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening, is written by Robert Frost. Robert Frost is a romantic writer of United States of America. He was born in San Francisco, California on 26 March 1874. Robert Frost has a very good history as a poet, and he is often compared as a poet of nature with William Wordsworth, though there is marked difference between the attitude of nature by William Wordsworth and by Robert Frost. I will read this poem, Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening, and then we will try to understand this poem through its paraphrasing. This poem, Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening, is written on stanzas. There are 4 stanzas in this poem, and the rhyming scheme of this poem is very interesting. Each stanza has a beautiful rhyming scheme of A, B, A, means first line, second line and fourth line rhyming with each other, whereas the third line is different, that's why it is marked as B. But the final stanza, the 4th stanza, it has all 4 lines rhyming as A, means all the 4 lines of the final 4th stanza have the same rhyming pattern. The poet reads, "Whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow." Now see the rhyming pattern: no, to and snow. First line, second line and fourth line rhyming with each other, whereas the third line, which ends at here, is different from this rhyming pattern. Now the writer presents before us a very beautiful scene of a village that is near to woods. Now woods means forest. As I told you that Robert Frost is a romantic poet, so his poetry reflects nature, and there is beautiful depiction of natural scenes in his poetry. This is what is manifested in his first stanza. He says, "Whose woods these are, I think I know." The poet is in woods, in a forest, and he says that I know that who is the owner of these woods. His house is in the village though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. The poet in this first stanza tells that he is amid the woods. He knows the owner of the woods. His house is near in the village, and the owner of the woods doesn't know that either anybody stops in woods or not. The second stanza reads, "My little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near, between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year." Now see again the rhyming pattern. The first, second and fourth line rhyme with each other, whereas the third line is different. Queer, near, year, whereas the lake in third line is different in this rhyming pattern. So the rhyming pattern follows the same A, B, A. The poet tells us that my little house must think it queer. Now poet is accompanied with a horse, that is little horse, a pony type horse. Queer means strange. The horse might think it is strange. Why? To stop without a farmhouse near. Because the poet has stopped amid woods and there is no farmhouse near, so there is no any place to be stopped, but as the poet has stopped inside woods without farmhouse, so horse might think it queer. Queer means strange. Between the woods and frozen lake. Now see, another beautiful image is presented before us, that is that amid the woods there is a frozen lake. And then the poet says the darkest evening of the year. It is the darkest evening of the year, means there is biting winter, lake has been frozen, the woods are frozen, it is very much chilling, winter. So the horse thinks is strange that why the poet, the owner of horse, stands amid these woods. Now, the poet tells us that he gives his harness bells a shake. Now, here the poet tells us that how that little horse, that pony horse, reacts to this movement. He says that he gives his harness bells a shake. There are bells, harness bells, in the ears of the horse. So when the horse took it strange to stand there, so he shook his head and the bell rang there to ask if there is some mistake. The only other sound, the sweep of the easy wind and downy flag. Now the horse is bewildered. He is supposed to ask from his master that either we have stopped here by mistake or we are willingly stopped here. So the poet tells us in his beautiful lines that he gives his harness bell a shake to ask if there is some mistake. The only other sounds, the sweep of easy wind and downy flag, means there is no sound there except the sound of that harness bell, and second the sound of the wind that goes through that snowy and frozen lake, and there are flakes of ice that move and they create sound. So there are only two sounds audible there. Now the fourth and the most important stanza of this poem, where the entire gist of this poem lies, the poet tells us, the woods are lovely, dark and deep. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. Now the poet has presented before us the beautiful scenery of woods that are frozen, and there is frozen lake. Now the heart of poet wants to stay there. Poet wants to stay there, but then poet remembers that he has made different promises to different people. That's why he has to move on. He cannot stop there, so he decides to leave on those forests, and he decides to go beyond these forests. Now the gist of this poem is that in this beautiful world, we have many reasons to stay, but we have to continue our struggle. We cannot stay at one moment because we all have many promises to keep. We all have many promises that we have made. As you people are staying inside your homes, your promise of studying should continue like this. This is the spirit of this poem. I thank you all, and I hope that you might have understood the gist of this poem. Thank you very much.